Today's Cowboy Report is made possible by True Classic. I'm rocking one of their poles because I believe in looking good, feeling good, and thus playing good, or I suppose talking well on air. 25% off when you use promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at trueclassic.com/chat. Tell you all about them later on in today's show. But as promised, we're talking about kickers today. The Cowboys have Tristan Vizcaino and nobody else on the roster. And special teams coach John Fossil has said everybody on earth is under consideration to compete with Vizcaino. And when everybody on earth is competing with you, kind of feel like that means you're not really competing because they're looking to replace you there in the end. With OTAs here, it's the perfect time to look at some potential candidates for the Dallas Cowboys. Some more season starting options there. Vizcaino, 10 for 11 on field goals in his career. Not that good on extra points. He has bounced around the course of his NFL career. He's never been the guy anywhere. Perhaps we are just writing him off altogether too early. And if so, you know what? I will take blame for that. But it is a matter of when, not if, the Cowboys add some kicker talent. Because they are going to get some more, at least one more person to compete with Vizcaino. So with that in mind, what is the percent chance that Tristan Vizcaino is the kicker in week 1? Is it almost zero, or is it a lot higher than what maybe we've implied in the past? Sound off in the comment section right now. The first candidate is the guy the Cowboys had last year. We have to mention Brett Maher, don't we? John Fossil didn't necessarily rule him out. The comments made by Fossil compared to what's been made by Jerry Jones kind of sounds to me like Bones wouldn't mind having Maher back. He did a good job last year. Maher, unironically, dead serious, was a top 5, top 10 kicker last year up into the playoffs. And the Cowboys pretty much lost all confidence in Maher. They didn't want to, kick field goals anymore. The extra points were a disaster. They lost confidence, and that negatively impacted their offense decision-making. So, with that in mind, the pinned comments on today's show. Would you bring back Brett? He's back down to Brett, maybe Maher. If you were the Cowboys, it'd be a one-year deal. No, to allow him to compete for a job. Why for yes and for no? Sound off in the comments section at the pinned comments. If that's what the Eberle comes here on YouTube, what you would do with Brett Maher. Why to bring him back and for no. The name I expect to see the most of in the comment section is Robbie Gould, who is the name on this list, right? He is the most familiar player in a group that isn't maybe the most well-known. It's like, well, fantasy helps, I guess. But here's the issue with Robbie Gould. Still good on extra points, still good inside of 40 yards, outside of 40. It's bad. The leg is not what it once was. And that has raised some fairly significant concerns across the NFL. The Niners traded for a kicker and recklessly, foolishly drafted one in the top 100 instead of bringing back a guy who does not miss in the playoffs. That should tell you pretty significantly how the NFL and the Niners, the team that knows him the best, feels about what Robbie Gould has to offer at this stage in his career. I'm unconvinced he ends up being the guy. But bring him in one-year deal, no guaranteed money. Let them compete. Mason Crosby. Mike McCarthy knows him pretty well. And I wonder if maybe that's not the positive some might make it out to be. The reason why vet kickers are unsigned, they have an issue somewhere, right? Mason Crosby has been really bad inconsistency over the last couple seasons. That 86.2% was actually one of his better years in recent memory. He had a strong 2020. He had a disastrous 2017 season, and then really good 2019. The issue is 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, he had under 85 or under 87% kick rates there and a disastrous 2020 campaign. So all of those potential red flags remain as it relates for Mason Crosby. Now, today's show is made possible by True Classic. Father's Day is just around the corner, and if you want to get your dad something he will actually love, actually use, actually say, what'd your son get you? What'd your daughter get you this year? He gave me these awesome t-shirts, these awesome polos, chinos, jeans, whatever he needs for his wardrobe. True Classic is perfect. They are not just about the clothes. They have active line too. Shirts, shorts, and joggers, even some hoodies in there as well. If your dad does not like his purchase, or what you get for him, I should say, they offer a 100% risk-free guarantee and easy returns. Use promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at trueclassic.com/chat to get 25% off your order, plus free shipping if your purchase is over $100. Give your dad a gift he will actually love this Father's Day. Give him True Classic. Link, trueclassic.com/chat. Promo code CHAT is in both the comment section and the description of today's show. Next up, Ryan Succop. I didn't mean to rhyme there. That one was on me. I apologize. The former Bucks kicker, who they moved on from and are kind of trying to find somebody now here. Ignore 2019. It was a disastrous year for Ryan Succop. He was 1 of 6 on field goals. Only 6 games. That's really bad. But 90.3, 83.3, 81.6% on field goals. That is regression, and there is an age factor here for Ryan Succop. If you're going, geez, Tom, you're not really sold on any of these options. You're right. I'm not sold. That's why they're unsigned deep into May on the eve of in OTAs and training camp around the corner. There are issues with all these guys because they're kickers. They are sometimes not people, and they are often head cases that are inconsistent and vary drastically each year. Jeremy's guy, Randy Bullock, a.k.a. Fat Randy. Here's the issue with Randy Bullock. Despite being a long-time starting kicker, he's just kind of okay. He won't miss that many extra points, but he will miss field goals. He'll be around 81, 85%. He might not be the most clutch kicker either. There have been some misses there. The Bengals kind of ran him out of town. He was okay for the Titans the past 2 years. They did not bring him back. So veteran names who, if they can fill in for 1 year, you might be okay. But you might also be a little bit worried about what you have long-term, and you're not sold at that spot, which is okay. Don't overcommit to a kicker anyway. Now, when the Cowboys add one, we will have you covered, I promise you. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Free videos every single day right here on the Cowboys Report. As we broke down on Tuesday's show, the Broncos did cut Brandon McManus, making him a prime candidate as a kicker candidate, I should say, for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, much like all the veterans that have been available that we've discussed so far, there are issues with McManus. Namely, he wasn't that particularly good. His 77.8% field goal mark was the lowest of his career since 2017. I know he is a relatively household name. The strong leg does make him a viable candidate. I also wouldn't say he's locked and loaded, the best obvious guarantee to fix the option. After all, the Broncos, when they cut him, had no other kicker. So they were just done with him at that point. Any name to bring in? Sure. And to guarantee a bunch of money to? No, probably not. Let's look now towards some players on rosters. Guys who might get cut or you could trade for on the cheap. First up is Nick Folk. I've said it before. I will say it again. This is my prediction. The Patriots moved up for Chad Ryland, which was bold. I think the Cowboys liked him, by the way. Nick Folk, of the kickers we've discussed so far, extra points have been a bit of an issue. He'll miss at least a couple each year. But as a field goal kicker with a strong leg that fits what Bones Fossil likes, this is the best candidate. He's actually done a pretty good job over the past 4 years of being a bit more consistent. Now, he's older. He's a stopgap option. But if Ryland's the guy, the Patriots will cut Nick Folk. And that could make him a great candidate as a homecoming, a Cowboys legend in Dallas. Zane Gonzales next up here. He already got traded once. Remember, the Niners... The Panthers were going to cut him. And then I said, no. We'll trade for him. Then they drafted one top runner, which I thought was pretty weird there. Gonzales was very good in 2021 for the Panthers. 91% on field goals. He was Hurt last year. Maybe wasn't going to make the team as a kicker anyway, so they kind of stashed him. Bad in 2020. Solid in 2019. Zane Gonzales, by the way, is another example of why, in the end, I really don't believe in drafting kickers. He was drafted by the Browns. If he ends up in Dallas, that's 6 teams in 6 years. Don't draft kickers. The guy you get as a UDFA, see him get by drafting. Now, I want you guys to head down to the comment section here once again, if you're not already down there, and name a player who you want as the Cowboys kicker. I would say serious answers only. I've already seen Jeff Heath in the live chat today, but you can throw that in there, I suppose, if you want to. Who do you want as the Cowboys kicker? Sound off in the comment section. One more trade cut guy I don't love the most. That's Wil Lutz, the Saints kicker, who, yes, 1 L in his name, by the way, not 2. Does not spell his own name right. Does raise some red flags to me on top of being a kicker, The biggest red flag is he was bad last year. Made all his extra points. 74.2%. Not very good. Coming off a core muscle injury in 2021, has been among the higher paid kickers in the NFL, but some of the production has dipped, and that's a pretty, 88.9 to 74.2. That's a big difference, and a troubling drop-off from where he was at the peak of his NFL career. Let's go outside the NFL now, to the XFL. John Parker Romo already been signed. The other top XFL kickers, and again, issues here. They've all missed kicks. Now, I do think that XFL to NFL is a decent 1-to-1. That ball's a bit different, but whatever. Taylor Russolino was 16-19, long of 56. Maybe your best bet. Dominik Eberle was with the Raiders briefly. Matthew McCrane has bounced around the NFL. Thought Hageman was 12 of 16, but is 12 of 16 really going to move the needle that much for you? I'm not so sure. In the USFL, meanwhile, 3 names here. And this is based on their stats as of May 22nd, so, games being played here. Nick Sciba hasn't missed yet. 7 of 7. South Carolina kicker. I actually kind of liked him coming out of South Carolina relative to kickers, so, I gave him a top 5 UDFA at the spot, I think, for me. Not a strong leg, though. Might not be Bones' guy. Luis Aguilar is 15 of 18. Had a strong game recently for the Stars, long of 56. Matt Coghlin, 11 of 12. Decent names to monitor there in the USFL. And finally, 3 names who are not going to happen. Dan Bailey is cooked. He's done. Everyone loves Cobra Kai Forbath. Here's the problem. No one's added him in a while. It means he's done. And I know we're on YouTube. He does awesome content, but Deestroying is not going to be an NFL kicker. That's not really where he's at. He's going to make a lot more money, have more success from doing the YouTube side of it. So I'm sure someone will mention him. It's not going to happen.